What's going on, everybody? This is Fry. So today we are doing two things. We're going to be putting the packs, the actual sets, on a tier list. We're going to be going through in depth all the cards within each set, which set has the best cards, which ones are less good. But before we do that, I'm going to explain how to spend gems in PvZ Heroes. What sorts of packs should you buy? Should you be buying one pack at a time, 10 packs? Which set you should be really investing your gems into? This is one of the most commonly asked questions I get during the live stream, so that's why I really want to get that out of the way first. And then sort of when we do the tier list, I'm going to be going a little bit more in depth. That will be the more in-depth, let's say, explanation. So as you see over here, I don't know how this happened, but there are 6 different images for packs. We're just going to ignore the last 2. The 4 we're going to be going through are going to be the base set. This is going to be Galactic, Colossal, and Triassic, doing them in order of how they came out. And okay, so the short answer of how to buy packs in PvZ Heroes is to buy them in the order that they came out. The most important, it's actually pretty logical because the most important set is the premium pack. That's the one you really want to be investing almost completely into right when you start a new account, or if you're a beginner player. After you feel like you have a pretty good amount of those, you're going to be buying Galactic. Then you're going on to Colossal or Triassic. Doesn't actually matter at that point which ones you're going to do so, but I would still suggest in general just going Colossal and Triassic, doing them in order how they came out. So right when you start the game, right when you have a new account, I would actually be buying one pack at a time, because every single pack that you get right when your collection is just all those basic cards, it just makes your deck so much disproportionately better. You just be able to upgrade your deck out of those little 1/1 tokens and button shrooms and whatever you're running. So definitely buy one pack at a time until you feel like you have a deck that can get you to rank 20 or 30. Now, if you want to see me actually do this, I did make a playlist on FryMup Gaming. It's my secondary channel called Fry's Free to Play. I started a completely new account. I was actually trying to just craft Aggro Solar Flare, and we actually got up to rank 40 with that, so that was a really fun sort of series. And I did find, again, buying the one pack at a time is actually good, because the amount of gems you're going to get back from ranking up and getting to rank 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 and to Ultimate League, which you can do pretty easily if you know how to play this game. So that will just happen so much faster every single pack that you buy. So if you're just starting out, it's worth to buy one at a time. Now, if you're going to try to get as big of a collection as possible, it's obviously more efficient to be buying 10 packs at a time. So I would suggest that you sort of do that. You know, obviously you're getting one extra bonus, 10% more. So you do that if you're really just going to try to get as big of a collection as possible. Also, guys, you should not be spending your gems on heroes, in my opinion. I mean, maybe if you have all of the elements for Valk, Trickster, Hybrid, and who does, and you really need Professor Brainstorm, maybe in a situation like that, you can actually buy a new hero. But in general, if you just look at how much the packs cost, it costs 750 gems to buy a new hero. Maybe you get a pack, I don't know, it's been so long. Also, but in general, 750 gems is 7.5 packs. In my opinion, it is better to make your current heroes better than spreading yourself thin and acquiring more heroes, and then now you're gonna have a lot of heroes that suck. Instead, it's much better to have a few heroes, which, again, there's some really good starting heroes: Solar Flare, Infinity, really top notch. This Smash for budget players. So try to work on making those better by buying packs instead of buying more heroes. And if you're buying I believe it's just in the premium set, you also do have a 3% chance of getting a hero. So if you're going to be playing this game for a while and you're going to be buying a lot of packs, eventually those heroes will drop for you. I've even seen people open up multi-packs and getting several heroes inside. Obviously, it's very lucky for that to happen statistically, but yeah, again, really, in my opinion, invest in packs, not in heroes. Now, so again, really just focus at first on the premium packs. If you feel like you got your really base set, let's say in the premium set, you're not going to be getting all the legendaries. Obviously, that's going to take there's a lot of legendaries in the premium, so it's going to take a long time to sort of collect. But you have your basic commons, which you're going to be getting a lot of those per pack, and even your rares are you're going to be getting one rare in every single pack, and you feel like you really have sort of the your bread and butter cards you need, like your Shroom for Twos, like your Plan Foods, the really The really cards, you know, your sumos, let's say for your sports decks, the cards that really are the bread and butter cards, you can then actually start at that point buying, let's say, one or, you know, just a couple packs, maybe even an entire multi-pack from the other sets. So you're going to be going again in order. You can buy between 1 and 10 packs of Galactic and then get the Colossal and then the Triassic just to sort of fill in your collection, because even buying a few packs from the other sets will give you that big foundation of the uncommons and the rare cards that, you know, really are very useful. There's a lot of very good, we're going to be going through that in a second, but there's, I mean, in all of the sets, there's a lot of even really good uncommons, like Apple Saucer, just an amazing card. You got rares like Elderberry, for example, if you're going for Aggro Solar Flare. So if you're going again, but once you sort of have that base amount of cards and you want to really start getting super rares and legendaries, I would literally go right back to premium packs and start investing in those again, because really at the end of the day, the most important legendaries in the game, there's obviously a few exceptions, but the really, really powerful ones are in the premium packs, and even some of the super rares. I mean, there's just some super, super essential cards. Line Dancing Zombie, you got Pogo in here, really, really solid cards that are, again, there's good stuff anywhere, but it's mostly in the premium packs. All right, so that was the explanation. I am now going to go through the different sets one by one. We're going to be looking at the sort of cards that are contained within the sets and putting them on this tier list, and we are just going to be going in order. So we're going to be starting off with none other than premium packs. So if you actually can see all the cards that are in a certain pack just by going and pressing this little information button over here in the shop. And okay, so the legendaries, if you just think of like what are the best legendaries in the game, you have so many of them here. We're talking about Pineclone. This is literally one of the best cards in the entire game. Teleport, so essential. On the plant side, you also have like Brainana, which is ridiculously good. Maybe it's not like the best in the game, but even you have your Bananasauruses. You have a lot of your really, really bread and butter cards. Even Briar Rose is still very, very decent. On the zombie side, it might even be more drastic because you have Trickster, which is like one of the absolute best cards in the game. I already mentioned Teleport. You got Valkyr. This is like these are all cards that have very strong arguments for being literally the best card in the game. It happens to be the super rare, so that's with the again. You have Plankwalker. There's so many great examples. I'm not going to go through every single one, but obviously there's crap everywhere. But again, really, I think that this is really the premium set to buy. I sort of mentioned this in passing a couple minutes ago, but the logic that buying the premium packs first, it really makes sense because this game was originally made with just the premium set, meaning there's a lot of, even nowadays, really good decks like Control Infinity that are almost completely premium. The premium doesn't rely on any of the other sets to be good. For the most part. So really, you're going to have like these really, really solid bases with the premium packs. The Galactic only came out once there already was a premium set, and there's a lot of Galactic cards that really rely on the premium set for your bread and butter cards in order to be good. All right. So moving on to the super rares. I don't think the super rares are quite as good. There's like actually a lot of trash, like Mirana. Doomshroom, I guess, is a good card. Quackatile is like a good card. Doesn't see a lot of play. It's outclassed by Shamrocket. But again, you have some pretty essential ones here. Notably, our Black-Eyed Pea. Crap. Not really. Okay, like Cat Lady's kind of good in one deck. It's actually not a very important card to go through, since I wouldn't say investing in pet decks is like a really good direction to go in this game. Maniacal's important. I don't actually, looking at these super rares, don't think a lot are. The only ones that I feel like are super essential is just Pogo. This is very arguably the best card to actually craft in the entire game. Again, really hard to differentiate or Line Dancing Zombie. Most of the super rares are pretty poor. The rares are like, you can't run a Mega Grow deck without plant food. Gravebuster, Shroom for 2 it's so hard to run a lot of Kabloom decks like without Shroom for 2. You got your Repeat Mosses, which are amazing for Captain Combustible. Even cards like Jumping Bean, like having a few of these gives you some removal for heroes with like Green Shadow. You got your Power Flowers up in here, which are very good for if you're going for Aggro Solar Flare. So just so many real essential cards. You also have your Sumos and your Coaches in here, which again, a very good budget zombie deck is definitely going for sports. And you have really all of the rares are contained in the set. The commons, again, you'll be getting these pretty quickly, but there's so many. There's so many really essential cards. In the set, you got your drone engineers and your beam me ups for your science decks. For you beginner players, you got your flag zombies, you got your headstone carvers, your swashbucklers. I mean, just such of the most essential cards in the game. Not going to be going through them, but anyway, very easy to understand why I'm going to be putting the premium set, easy S tier. It is the best set in the game, in my opinion. We're going to be moving right along. Got Kangaroo in this set, guys. Obviously, that's like a card. Everyone needs 0 copies of Kangaroo. Shut up right now. All right, next, again, going chronologically, we're going to be going into the Galactic. Now, just the concentration of good legendaries, this might even have higher quality average than the premium set, now that I'm looking at it. Because, like, okay, the bad ones, let's say Bodyguard's not especially useful, Starfruit, but you have, like, Pecanolith, Molekil. If it's not competitive in many decks, it's still one of the most fun cards in the game, especially once you have your Pine Clones. It's not really good if you haven't invested in the premium set necessarily. Captain Cucumber, Onion Rings, Dragon. I mean, these are again, the overall, like, average quality of legendaries in this set. Quasar, again, there's some bad ones. It probably is slightly above the premium set, but I still don't think they're important, because most, like, Pecanolith decks are focused on one thing. It's not like, Pecanolith decks are mostly good with Grass Knuckles because he has bonus attacks. You really got to use your bonus decks, but you can use Pecanolith with a few other things. I'm talking about, like, Trickster is useful in everything. Mix Up Gravedigger is auto-include in every single deck. So that's the reason, again, this isn't, if you're going for a legendary, if you're just going for legendaries, maybe this set is better. It's really more when you get your Pogos and your Mix Up Gravediggers and your actual your Sumos and your coaches for your sports deck. Probably the premium's a little bit weighing, but then what? Let's go through this a little more in depth. We'll move on to the super rares and we'll see where we're at. A lot of really, really solid cards in Galactic, but then you have a lot of bad ones. I guess it's sort of like, seems like the super rare. I mean, this is just average. This is very good. Cheese Cutter is very good. Seems like the super rares, there's like so many, like, just freaking amazing cards. Area 22 is pretty good, but then you just have so much garbage. Even Gas Giant, not very useful in a lot of decks. Of course, you have your Leap. Did this actually come out in a different set than Leaps? I don't even know that. I don't even remember. You have some really, really important cards like Black Hole and Dr. Spacetime. Again, this is really one of the better sets in the game. The rares, there's almost is not one rare here that's an essential card. And again, this is the reason why for beginner players, you're going to be getting super rares and legendaries in sets, in your packs, but you're mostly going to be getting one rare. And you have Heartichoke, I guess. It's hard to even find one essential card in this entire thing. Heartichoke, I guess. You don't even need to run this in... Oh, yeah, you got Starch Lord, of course. Obviously. Never mind. You know what? Premium's just going down to D. Obviously, this is... Shut up, guys. Freaking Starch Lord. Now, the uncommons are really good. You know what? The one thing you're going to need to buy a couple of Galactic packs for as a beginner player is in order to get environments. Again, Aggro Solar Flare, the budget version, you don't actually need any environments because you're winning so quickly. If they play a problematic environment, just hit them in the face, doesn't matter. But for almost every other deck, you're going to need some environments. And the one thing that the premium set is missing utterly are environments. There were no environments back in set 1. Imagine this game without environments. And even in the commons, there's you got your Spikeweed Sector, your Black Hole. And this is, again, one of the reasons why after you've invested in the commons and rares, basically, of the premium set, definitely buy a couple of packs of Galactic. Literally just get environments. You have some really, really good commons here, too. Alien News for budget players is really, really good. Banana Bomb, Photosynthesizer is not a bad card either. Mostly just the environment cards. You have your Applesaucers here, too, which, again, for every aggro solar deck, ridiculously good. Really, really high quality of cards. Overall, again, just for the clarity of this, probably in the legendary slot, it actually is all the way up, but because the rares and the commons, even though they're very necessary, they're not quite as necessary for winning games as the base set. I'm going to be putting this in A, but again, Galactic, really one of the premier classes in this game. And let's move on to Colossal. with the big Brontosaur. So when we're looking at Colossal, look at the overall quality of Legendaries. It's actually really low. You have a couple of the best ones, which are Triceratops. You got your Gatling P, which again is good in one archetype. So I can't even say this is like, in terms of going for it, in terms of buying packs of an entire set, I can't really say Gatling P should be a good motivator, because if you get it, you're going to need a really specific type of deck to suit that. You're not necessarily going to have all your Ps and everything, but Triceratops on the 100, just you throw that in any Guardian. I would say basically I'm up to Pleurodon. Also, there's at least 3 copies of this in almost every single Smarty deck. Cop Cannon is less useful than it used to be. They used to be like a top tier card when Ramp was better. They nerfed Solar Winds and Briar Rose, so this is becoming less useful. Three-Headed Chomper, again, I made a Walnut control deck where it was called Three-Headed Chomper Control, and that really, was a great example of traditional control decks. Three-Headed Chomper could very likely be better than Cop Cannon, even though, again, this is a top tier card. But you have all these cards like Brontosaurus. Mime is good in a couple decks, not a top tier card. None of these are really, even Stompedon. So you have a lot of, and Gloomstream also not a top tier card. So again, this is the reason why the Legendaries, there's some real gems here. Can't take away any credit from Triceratops, but overall, it's definitely less than the premium, less essential. The super rares here are extremely good. There's a lot of rare. Now that I look at this, you have Con Man. Fireweed is still one of the best cards in the game after the nerf. It replaces an environment in your deck, can be used as an aggro or a tempo card. Split P, I haven't really found the good 3-nut deck. Great Responsibility, this is a very fine control card. Of course, you got Leap. Parasol, not as quite as good. So again, these are a solid group of super rares. Maybe on average, it might even be better than the premium set, who has like a few super rares that are so necessary, but on average, Leap. And of course, you have Leap in this one, so if you're going for fun. The rares, again, it's hard to find the rare here that is really like even a top tier card, other than Elderberry and aggro solar decks. This definitely is, but like the rest of these, I know you have like Blockbuster. This is replaceable. Yeti is good in a few decks. Blah blah. So the rares again are really, and this is why for budget players, don't invest a lot into this, because your rares is mostly what you're getting, and you're mostly getting crap. You can craft your elderberries. You know what I mean? This is it costs 250 sparks. You can easily craft this. Commons, again, there's a few good gems, but in general, the commons are also not very important. I know you got Swabby. Barrel of Barrels used to be a good card. It's not anymore. Most of these are just unusable, completely unusable crap. And that's the reason why, again, it's not quite as good. I'm going to be putting this in B tier. Again, there's a lot of really, really good gems. You have a lot of insanely top tier cards in this, but overall, it is just not enough to make this, let's say, a good nominee for one of the best types of packs or sets in the game. All right, and now we're going to be moving on to, so that was Colossal, and we're going to be moving on to Triassic, which is, again, the final one. I don't know what these are. But anyway. So again, look at the legendaries. Which one of these legendaries is one of the best cards in the game? There's actually none. Is there even one S tier legendary? Did I put this in S? Probably put this in A. They're a really good card. Gargthorn Garg, again, it's fun. It's not competitive. There's really like no top tier legendaries in this set, which is, yeah, a little unsettling. Rating Raptor is probably a top tier guy. Damn it, this is a card I underuse so much. This is
the event pack, which contains all the event cards.
What is this? Scrubblord? The blue pack is the one that contains all the event cards. You know what? I'm gonna be. I didn't actually get into this at the beginning, so maybe I'll talk about a little bit about the event cards and stuff like that. I'll take a look at the event card pack when I'm done with this set. Headhunter? Okay, Headhunter is a very good card, but again, it's very, very specific types of deck, just dancing decks, and even for most of the crazy heroes, it's not worth really running Headhunter. Like, try to make a Z-Mech dance deck, maybe it would work. Mostly just for Brainstorm, that we found that like really consistently works, because you have Ramp. All right, what are the super rares? Again, there's some gems. There's some real gems. You got Hunting Grounds, Primal Walnut. I mean, so you have some really solid cards. Great Robbers, quite good. Rotobega. These are okay. I would say some of them are above average. I can't see any cards here that are like on the degree of Conman and Pogo or any of the other cards. I don't even see one like S tier card in this entire bunch, but there's plenty of good gems. There's also a lot of crap. I mean, Strawberrian's kind of unusable. When it comes to the rares, also, I mean, Mustache Monument is one of the best cards in the game. Seriously. Fairy Treasure's okay. But really, most of these are almost unusable. Ice Spore sometimes is. Most of these are actually unusable. And then when you go over here, most of them are also unusable. You have, again, some of the best cards in the game. You have Little Buddy, you have Monkey Pirate, very good pirates. Trapper Territory is a fine card. But most of these are almost completely unusable. I mean, seriously, I don't think I've ever run Sunny or Shroom in a deck. Maybe one time in a Mushroom Ramp deck I did. Some of them are just average. Goat is okay. It's good in a couple of decks. Raptor, we found, has been good in like 2 decks. Mustache Waxer has been good in 2 decks. Exactly. Mustache Brainstorm or Mustache Morticia. So I am actually going to be putting, particularly because of the low quality of legendaries, super rares, and rares, I'm actually going to be putting this in C tier. Again, there's obviously some gems. Don't say, Fry, why are you putting in C tier? Rating Raptor is an S tier card. I know, but in general, most of these these cards on a competitive level are actually not very good. Again, they all have their uses. We have decks with Potatosaurus, but anytime I've ever run Potatosaurus, to me and you, I could have replaced it with something else. All right, so before we end this video, I want to talk a little bit about one of the other ones. So I see 2 more. It looks like this is the Event Rewind bundle. I have no idea what this is. Maybe this is the original art for PvZ Heroes, like what the packs look like before there even was a set 2, maybe. So this is not even going to be spending gems. So this doesn't actually even fit into the video at all, because I don't know if you can see this here, but you actually have to spend real money on this. Maybe I'll try to make a quick comparison. Event cards are quite good. I mean, event cards also can contain legendaries. Just can contain any legendary and any super rare in the game. I'm so confused. What does this pack even contain? It says 3 weekly event cards and 3 cards. Mega bundle bonus. So it just contains 1 event card each. Never mind. Putting this in Bucket Bay tier. This doesn't even fit into the video. This doesn't seem like, it seems like it would be better if you're going to be spend the $21.99 on 23 packs if you're spending money in this game at this point, then spending $27.99 for 4 event cards, and then you get 1 legendary. I don't even understand what's it. You get 3 cards. Oh, so you always get 1 event card and then 3 random cards. So for this, you're going to get 1 legendary. This you'll get on average 2.3 legendaries. If they're 10%, and you're getting 23, so you'll get maths. If it was 10 packs, you'd get 1 legendary. So you're getting 2.3 leggies, and you're also getting average 30% super rares. So that would be about 8 super rares as opposed to 4 event cards. So 8 super rares is definitely better than 4 event cards. Yeah, just ignore this one. I would also, maybe if there's one more thing worth mentioning, I would not invest in the Solar Flare, the ZMAC pack, the specific heroes, because these are literally the exact same amount of packs as the other ones, except that they cost twice as much. This you get exactly the same amount for 200 or for 2,000 as you get for 100 or 1,000. So I know sometimes if you're going for 1 hero and you're really trying to build that up, I mean, maybe it would be worth it short term, but long term you definitely want to be getting more cards. If you're getting literally twice as much cards, not investing in just 1 hero, I would say probably better just to stick to the basic premium Galactic Tragic and Colossal packs. That is my suggestion. Hope you guys enjoyed. That was the pack tier list and how to open up packs in PvZ Heroes. Peace. This is Fry.